And hello, I think we are live right now. Sorry, we had some technical issues. My kids got onto my computer today and decided to start typing buttons. I think they deleted all my sound settings. So if things sound weird, let me know. I'll have to fix it. But today we are going to be doing just a quick paint today. Probably not too long. I do have a lot of stuff going on, but I'm trying to paint once a Thursday just to kind of stay consistent, so I don't disappear for weeks on end. We have Valguard. I might finish up on shoot today if I have the gumption, but we will see. Let's bring up our levels real fast here. I kind of forgot what time it was. There we go. I hope everyone's having a great day today. And I think we should be good to go. If there's any issues, let me know. I'll fix them right up. But let's get Valguard all painted up. This is for a commission for someone who would like to have this runny boy in their army. And I mean, he's pretty fun. Weirdly about Valguard, the part I love about him is that he inspires the Tarn Vikings to run faster because they hate him so much, which I think is a fun personality to have. You know, I wish someone would hate me so much that they would decide to run faster. You know, that's my goal in life. And let's make sure this is here. There we go. That looks not half bad. And I don't even have my palette prepared. I'm all over the place today. So let's just get this going and have some fun. So we are going to first off get work on this cloak, this furred cloak. I have some new paint from Tooth and Coat's Vampire Fang that I've been wanting to try out. So hopefully that looks good. And yeah, a pretty chill night tonight. I don't have a lot to talk about. I guess one small announcement. Definitely check out the Renegade Con stream starting October 11th, where you can see me teach you how to paint this guy. Which has been a lot of fun working on that. I'm going to get into the details all finalized on the final edit. Because I'm a perfectionist and I'm doing this all by myself. It's a tough mixture right there. There we go. But I hope everyone is doing good today. And let's get some paint on this guy. I'm using a wet palette, and I'm using some King Tan from Army Painter. It's a good base to build up to our white, our cream white of the cloak. And where's my handy dandy holder at here? I'll find it when I'm painting. Get to a bit of a bigger brush. Probably don't need to bring out the good stuff here. This is just a pack of brush I got from Walmart for like $10, and I've honestly been liking the quality. It came with a whole bunch of brushes, like 20 of those, and they're good just for, you know, if you don't want to kill your brush and just kind of. Just general purpose brushes right there. We are building up from black. That's just because I'm starting to like working with black a bit more. It's not as fast, but I just like having control over the layers. I spent a long time today updating my my Halloween playlist. And I think I have over 400 songs, so I'm ready. Definitely starting to map out what I'm doing for spooky season as it's nigh on the horizon. And I got some fun stuff. We'll have some new evil Kyrie to paint. Gonna update the whole channel. I'm going whole hog. I plan on updating my video bumper. Just the general layout of the channel is gonna know a whole overhaul for Halloween. Because I really like Halloween. I'm not really big into the scary part of it all. I just like Halloween is one of the few holidays surviving that is kind of a communal kind of type of deal, where the community kind of gets together and does things. It's kind of a rare holiday. Like those don't, exist anymore. But like things like Christmas, Thanksgiving, those are all celebrated just in your own home. 4th of July is a bit of a communal holiday. It can be, if you go see fireworks, but it's not as interactive. Honestly, the best 4th of July fireworks presentation would be if no one else was there. It was just you. But it's like, I feel like it's like the last hot week of summer, and then we are going to be going to this nice, crispy season, at least here in the Midwest. I feel it in my bones. Thankfully this is a good break because I've been trying to work more on this video. I shot some more stuff and I've been uploading 6K footage, which takes a while. It's kind of made the transition to a nicer camera, nicer quality recently. But the problem when you transition to better equipment is that everything else has to kind of follow suit eventually. And we're just adding this nice solid layer. This is a 3D print, so the good thing about kind of going from black is I'm able to kind of keep some of that texture that's on the official model, wherever I put that at. Because notice it kind of has these black speckles, and there's just not enough detail when we wash it. I mean, I'm probably still going to do the standard process, but I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. Don't listen to that. But it's not going to be as detailed, but it's a good way just to kind of see how it will look. Rather. I'm trying to think of a fun gimmick for No Gray Thursday. Maybe have the community vote on what I should paint or choose what colors. I'm trying to find something fun to do with it. If you have any fun suggestions, let me know. I could always take some feedback on that, because I want to do like a painting, but painting with a challenge or a purpose, or maybe I'll just have a set of challenges people can decide each week, or every other week. I'm still up in the air. But I guess I'm painting anyways. I just need to get used to being on camera while I'm doing it. Although I am admittedly a lot faster when I'm not on camera, because I don't have to explain everything. I don't have to be like, oh, here's tan, I'm going this. I just try to zoom through it. But this and let's see here. You'd be interested in seeing that Halloween playlist maybe posted on my Discord. Yeah, it's pretty expansive. It's not your traditional. I'll be sure to do that after the stream. If anyone, it's I'm very into kind of swing and folk music. There's a certain vibe to Halloween, and Halloween is is a weird holiday that could get away with a mix of kind of grunge and classic rock, as well as kind of folk and swing, and kind of old timey, kind of that vintage stuff. So it's very eclectic music you can choose from. You have everything from like thriller to you have some '70s stuff like Stevie Wonder. You got classic rock stuff. You got it's pretty expansive. Pretty much any song that mentions death, the devil, wolves, the moon, ghost, or vampires, or witches got added to the mix. So it's not but it's designed for more like, I like having music when I'm doing stuff. So it's not like just like there's not like a lot of theme music from movies and stuff like that, because you get tired of listening to those after a bit. A lot of Halloween kind of theme music is kind of just so iconic, it gets old after a while. But I will definitely post that. The challenge can be painting something that has complex colors, but only using the Army Painter Fanatic Starter Set colors, and that'll help you figure out what to do with yours. That's the current challenge Renegade has me doing for the figures I'm painting. But yeah, I will try, maybe not for this guy because I'm actually painting for someone, but next time I will, I have a lot of their paint, so I'll probably be using 90% of it. Army Painter excels, especially their new Fanatic line is really great at a lot of things. It's really affordable, it's really expansive, but their whites and blacks colors really just kind of leave me a little bit wanting more, because when you start doing some more fun stuff, you want them to be as bright as possible, as dark as possible, but they got some really good colors in there too. I think Army Painter's current range of blues are really excellent. Their purples are really great, and I like their yellows. They got some unique yellows which aren't as common with other brands. They got some nice like orange yellows and mustard yellows, which are having fun to work with, and turquoises as well. I think it kind of falls in blue, but I think Army Painter's still lacking in the green department. They don't have a lot of my favorite greens. They're still usable, mind you. And they actually, with their Fanatic line, released a lot of good set of browns. Which, honestly, those are the main colors that you're working with here. But next time I paint a figure, I will just use... Next time I paint a figure, I'll make it even harder. I'll use just the starter set from Army Painter, and see what I can get with that. Maybe with 2 additional colors, just to give these. Because I can mix paint, but I just don't like doing it because I have to paint like a lot of the same thing. For consistency, I just have pre-mixed, and I'm really bad at memorizing formulas and ratios. I'm too lazy to write it down. Let's see here. Where's my guy at? All right, let's start building up this skin tone here. Let's put the gray on actually before we do that. We're gonna use we're using Army Painter. What we're gonna try at least. It's gray. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what gray you use. I'm gonna use this gray just because it's closer. This is Pro Acryl Neutral Gray. I don't have my uniform gray, which is the same thing, nearby. I don't want to get up and get it. I still have yet to find my little paint holder thing, so I'm a mess. I'm a messy person, so I'm always losing things. And I'm absent-minded. Those are both kind of combined together to make me a fun person. Let's see here. But you can use uniform gray, or you can use grays are pretty much the same. I like Pro Acryl a whole lot, though. It's hard for me not to use them, just because their paints are really good. I look how clean that covers it, and it's super matte, so I don't have to worry about like that kind of gloss, kind of messing with the colors. But I wouldn't deter anyone from using Army Painter. Their new line, they really listened to the community feedback and updated a lot of issues with their previous thing. Let me see why the text hasn't updated yet. Because I realized it's not saying the correct thing. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't save it. There you go. Let's see if that updated. If not, I will have to figure out why. Yep. I'll figure it out. It should be bonded to a text document, but I probably didn't push the right button. But yeah, I can let's see here. I'm gonna try to paint something maybe if I have the chance with all Army Painter, because they have really good colors. They have a really wide range of colors, and you know, you can really paint with anything. You can use you know, stuff from the store, but you kind of get to a point where you're like, you know, if you really get into it, you're like, I'm doing this for hours, and I want this to be easier, you know. I've seen people paint incredible things with apple barrel and folk art, but that's their medium. That's what they like using. There's kind of every paint really is the same. I mean, it's not really different. It all kind of just boils down to your personal preference, you know, your flow. What the big things to look for are flow, coverage, and pigment density. So essentially, flow means just how chunky the paint is, how it kind of, you know, some paint like our Citadel paint is very thick and dense paint, and some people like it, applying it on thick and kind of spreading it around. It's just an old school style of painting. Some are really thin, like Reaper paints, are really thin. They're almost kind of, you don't need to thin them down. Just because some people like to not worry about that, and some people like to have full control over it. And then the next is coverage. That's how it kind of goes a bit with pigment density, but essentially it's the factor that when you put this on a model, does it, you know, spread around a lot? Does it cover it? How many layers does it take from black to this color for a nice solid coverage? You know, how thin and translucent it is. And then you have pigment density. That's pretty much if you're looking to thin your paints down, what's kind of the ratio of color to medium. Is if you're using a lot of glazes, a lot of kind of you know, working on thinning your paints, then you really want a high ratio of kind of pigments to medium, so you can put stuff in it. But kind of the downside of that is it's just sometimes hard to get it as translucent as you want it to be. Army Painter has really good coverage, decent flow, and I guess the other option, one additional detail, is available colors. You know, some paint brands have just the basic colors, and you have to mix them all yourself. So Army Painter really has a good range of colors, even releasing a bottle that's just like a shade lighter, which is good to have if you're looking to layer up and kind of build up from there. Hitting classic Heroes Get Figures is pretty relaxing. Like, you don't... There's not a lot to worry about with these things. They're kind of my chill-out paints. You know, after I paint a lot of more intensive, focus stuff. But it's also a two-sided street. Sometimes you want to practice on more advanced techniques or just improve your skill. And sometimes it's hard to do that with these 3D prints. Yeah, but the starter set colors, let's see. I know it doesn't have skin tone. And I guess I could do that, just mix my own skin tone. Yeah, that's a fun challenge. I have to remember what paints are in that, so I have to get that all prepped. Because they're all mixed apart at this point. But I am going to definitely do that next No Gray Thursday. I will. Now, what model would you like me to paint is the question. Maybe if I have it lying around. Maybe not a Age of Annihilation one. Unless you really want one. I have some extras. I could probably do I could probably do an Exile with just the colors in the box. Because then I don't have to worry too much about skin shade. Like, they have the colors to mix skin shade. It's just a bit more precise. I'm a little bit lazy when I mix skin shade. But I think that'd be good. Honestly, that's been on my back burner for a while, is what to figure out what to do. Because I know some people... I did give a giveaway recently where someone got the starter set. So it's fun just to see what you can do for, starter set's like $30, has like 15 paints in it, I think, 12, somewhere around there. So it's a great place to get your basic colors and know where to go. It has the red, blue, yellow, green, black, white, leather brown, and a couple metallics. No, I mean, it's a great place to start. Yeah, so, I mean, let's see, what would be a good thing to paint with that? You could definitely paint the Beast in Age of Annihilation really easy with that. I mean, you got your purple is a really easy color to mix. And it's fun to add some diversity to it, because as you go purple to pink, yeah, I could definitely work on that. I wouldn't do something like Mara with just a starter set. It's possible, but you just want a little bit more nuance in the Mara tone. You want some unique washes, and there's some different techniques you have to use. Let's see what this guy has. He has bronze armor. I think I have that here. Somewhere. We're gonna get some weapon bronze from Army Painter. Yeah, I've been slacking on these painting tutorials. I've been just really swamped with a lot of other stuff. So I've actually honestly been kind of going through. I bought 2 master sets of Unpainted. And I kind of just been painting the first master set on my own terms. Not really streaming or doing it, just to kind of get a feel for the model. And also, I just waited for a long time for this. I kind of want to enjoy it. It's just kind of my own personal, and also I just like to try new things out. Like, I want to, sometimes it's hard when you're live to, because I know people sometimes go back and watch these for instruction. My live streams are definitely me more in the moment, figuring it out as I go along. But I think that's helpful for some people to see kind of that internal process. But someone messaged me the other day, like, oh yeah, I watched a live stream you did of Osaga painting. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, you can use it, but I think I've developed a lot faster process to get that figure painted than what you used, because it was kind of released like a couple months beforehand. But yeah, I have the opposite problem. I'm not allowed to buy any more paint because I I always buy too much. I just like trying out other brands. I like to be kind of knowledgeable of what's out there, once you find what you like. But in case someone says, hey, what's Vallejo paint like, I'll be like, oh well, it's really nice, middle of the road, but like if I never used it, it's not as helpful. So I'm always trying to get just a bottle or something from new brands as much as the money allows. So let's see. I definitely want to pick up some skin tones. I imagine the Morrow would want to use some of those. Any specific skin tones from Army Painter you would recommend for all the AOA. Uh, Definitely for Army Painter, get Barbarian Flesh. That's their best skin tone. That's kind of the, I'd say like the Heroescape Caucasian skin tone. It's really great. I like the color of it. I'll probably be bringing some of it on this model pretty soon. It's just kind of a good neutral pink. It's not too pink. It's not too brown. It's a good way to build off of it. And then paints I use a lot for Army Painter. I really like their honestly the Army Painter's neutrals are really great. Like their tans, their like ancient stone, there's skeleton bone color. Those are all really great. Those are I kind of invest a lot in like neutral tones, just because they're a lot harder to consistently mix. So it's nice just because white's so fragile of a color. So it's nice to be able to kind of just have those on hand. But for Heroescape specifically, Dragon Red is a great one for all the, just red that are in the armies. You want to probably get some brown, invest in some good brown. Get oak brown and what else is there? You can get whatever brown, like just get like 2 or 3 shades of brown, like a leather brown's a good one, oak brown, and then kind of like a tan. And then there's so much leather and Age of Annihilation. It's good to have some pre-mixed options, so you can just kind of access them from your tool belt. But you can always mix other colors into brown and kind of get that point as well. If you're more looking for what I use a lot. What's that other brown called? Dryad brown. I like that brown. It's nice and dark and kind of rich. These are not really in particular order. This is me talking of what I like to use from them. Worn Stone's really good. Get some good purples. Honestly, their Alien Purple and their Cultist Magenta are ones you'll use a lot just because of all the AOA purple. All that stuff that's in there. Just having those at the ready will save you a lot of time mixing, a lot of paint mixing to get to that point. They're really nice and rich. Show the Forge, JK, JK. Unless I'm not supposed to do that. I don't know if I am. But oh well. They didn't say I couldn't. Everyone knows the Forge is coming. It's I think they want people to be surprised by it. It's a fun little model to paint. I definitely probably went overboard on it, so I have to. I made it hard for myself in the edit. Let's see here. Oh, I just lost where I was. There we go. Yeah, it was a really fun model to paint. These Eisenach, I think, are going to be really just great models to practice some more advanced or higher, like different painting techniques, I should say. Like just there's edge highlighting. There's a lot of work done to add texture and grime, and it's kind of just a toolkit that you don't really get to access a lot. So it was really fun, kind of finding this griminess to it, but still trying to keep it as simple as possible, and you can do like OSL lighting. I'm still kind of learning that. Honestly, I struggle with it a bit. It's hard for my brain sometimes to practice, where lighting is, and that's where I'm currently doing a lot of my practice at. Is just studying lighting, and because I'm really good at color matching. Like that's what I have a really good understanding of color and how color works and reacts with each other. I feel like I can almost match most colors to like a 90% accuracy, but adding that light and that like just thinking how light behaves, it's honestly kind of a weak point of me as an artist that I'm really trying to figure out. And I think it's good when you're trying to do this stuff. Acknowledge, hey, there's areas that you're always develop and figure that out. And Jordan says, looking forward to your Necros game when you paint your own. Yeah, some black and green. It's classic. But just imagine the Iron Lich with like black legs and like green glow on it. It's classic for a reason. It looks pretty cool in my mind. I might keep the gray skin because I kind of do like that, what they got going. Because you don't want it to look too much like a Morrow or too much like a zombie. So that kind of pale gray skin I think is going to look really good. And then we are going to get some red copper that I got going on here for the lizard arm. This is a figure I would love a 2.0 of. As I would love for him to grow. I think Dandelions Forum has posted some art of it. This arm just keeps on growing, and imagine Valguard with some kind of like healing ability or something, which would be pretty sweet. Or like it just kind of becomes this monstrous arm bigger than him. There's some fun things to do with it because he just has this lizard arm kind of for no reason, just because it's cool, I guess. I might have gone a little too bright with this. Try to darken it down with some shading. Now, am I trying to match this or am I trying to improve this? I think I'm just trying to match this. I'm actually going to go slightly just so it stands out a bit. It's still going to match the kind of the original colors. The original colors have the same kind of as the bone and the cloth, and visually to me that's kind of boring, because those are two different materials. They should look different, even if slightly. So we're gonna go more of a gargoyle gray from Army Painter here, kind of a warm tone. We'll shift to bone white. This will shift to more ivory, I think. I'm halfway tempted to almost reverse the scheme for the Eisenx and make it green and black, the green body parts. And I guess the black would be hard to do for the details, but I'm tempted because I just like green. There's not a lot of green in AOA so far. I guess there's the Exiles. They hold all the green currently. I think they have a little bit too much green on them. Green skin with green bodies, green blades. I guess that's where it all went. I had a chance to play with the some of these new stuff. A fellow Heroes Keeper reached out to me. They were in town and said, "Hey, let's." I heard you're out here. Let's play. And I said, "Okay, I'm bored." We're gonna get a nice dark brown for this. If I can find it. So we're gonna break in. I did a pirate's army, pretty much the admiral, the knaves, the scimitars, Bonnie, and Killian, and I did against the Ashugaru horde. I think there was like a total of 28 squad figures I had to get through. I killed like 22 of them. But it was really fun doing all uniques against the endless swarm of the Harkabus. I'm looking for my dark brown now. It's hard for me to talk and look for things at the same time. Let's see. Aha! It fell off my desk. Again, this is black brown from Pro Acryl. It's a really good color from them. I'm a Pro Acryl fan. I really like their paints, but they are a bit harder to use for someone looking to get into it. I personally wouldn't advise I mean, it's great paint. Get their white, get their some of their blacks, but it's very, very pigment dense. It's like it's almost not translucent at all. So you have to kind of know how to thin it down and how to kind of work it. But coincidentally, because of that, its coverage is really great. If you're looking for some good metallic, definitely check out their dark silver, as it is just it's just such a unique tone and has such smooth coverage. And which unit am I having the most fun with from AOA so far? Why is it the Admiral? And which unit are you looking forward to the most from AOA? And why is it the Dreadnoughts? Okay, yeah, solo and then the same, but for painting. So, Admiral is really fun. But he's really, I find him, he's like, the pirates move and then they go up. The problem is that we need some bulkier pirates to go with the Admiral or some umph. Because I play it and I repeatedly like good positioning. He does a lot of fun stuff, but there's just not like a really tanky frontliner pirate to really make use of that moving forward ability he has. Okay, so I think Sergeant Drake is my favorite so far that I've played with. I paired him with Zenithrax the other day, and that's just a really fun game. If you're not doing like it was unique only, so it was a little bit more usable. I did Sergeant Drake, Awashia, and Zenithrax, and that's a really fun army to do, and then fill it in with your animals up to points. Because in a uniques only format, you just kind of, if you have enough time, you could set the stage full of hazards filled with water and traps, and then you just have Drake fly around, zipping people up to the vine glyphs, and then just slicing them with 2 less defense. It's a really fun, maybe not the most competitive, but it is fun. Just, kind of harpooning people next to you. So I'd probably say Drake is probably the most surprising and fun. I did play with the Hellforge. I tested him out since I had him. And the Eisenachs are going to quickly become my favorite faction, I think. They're so thematic. They play it like, they're kind of like Morrow. They're kind of like nastier Morrow in terms of, because actually a lot of Morrow abilities are defensive. They're more of a defensive D20. You got Divide, Heal, even like things like Take Control are more of a defensive ability, compared to just outright killing people. I mean, they have still like poison scans with that, but the majority you're looking to rebirth or redo damage that was done to you. But the Eisenachs are really great at just doing damage to other people. So I'm looking forward just to playing all of them. They're going to probably switch to my mains pretty soon. But what I'm really looking forward to, I guess I'm talking a lot about general things, so I'm not not answering it directly. What I'm really looking forward to is just the Clockwork Combine. I want to see that blimp, and I also want to see the bugs released too. Those just are some fun looking wacky units, like I'm excited to see what all the bugs do in conjunction with each other, and then I just want to know what this blimp's power is, what they have planned for said Nesbit, and just paint that blimp thing is going to be really fun. And then for the one I'm most looking forward, I'm going to kind of continue that with the painting, and I mean, Dreadnoughts are really cool too. They're probably top 3 as well. Don't get me wrong. I want the Dreadnought. Those, like, the Exiles and Knaves are like varied squads, but they're kind of like, they're okay. They're like people and orcs and things that we don't know what they are. But then you have the Dreadnoughts, which is like a gorilla and a shark, and is it like a weird lizard thing? I honestly forget what the third one is. But they're just so bulky and weird. I love them. So I'm definitely looking forward to painting those guys, because there's some just fun stuff you can do with that. And currently in the AOA, I really enjoy, out of what I've done with so far, I have to say The Admiral EJ is so far the most satisfying to paint. just because he's got like a lot of these units. I'm having fun with the Beast too, just because they're so simple. But a lot of these units have very small details. You know, you got the little pouches and all the pirates. I don't really enjoy, like the standard pirates. I don't really enjoy painting as much, just because I feel compelled to hit every little pouch, and it's hard for me just to kind of skip over them and say that's good enough. You know, so they just take me a long time. And it's, you know, I got a lot of stuff to paint. And they're just kind of tedious. Not in a bad way, just kind of not excited. Like, I have, you know, I have those, they're just kind of sitting still. Like, I'm going to force myself to paint them, but I kind of already did paint them. Just, I haven't figured out how to make a video on them yet. I'm still thinking about that. The Frost Claws are a little tough to paint. Excuse me. Just because, let's see if I have any nearby. Well, I have unpainted ones. They're tough to paint just because this area right here by the neck, you have, and this area right here, like you have this white fur, and then you have, and this is honestly the best model because this is a mount. With something like this, you know, you have this fur right here, right really close with the helmet. And then with white fur, you just gotta be really careful to, you know, you notice every little thing that goes on it, you know, so you just gotta be really patient and really just take your time, you know. So they're not hard if you know what you're doing, but they're just kind of, I don't like it. I'm a lazy painter. I don't like anything where I have to pay attention to, and if I make a mistake, I have to start over. Like, the Frost Claws look really good though when they're done. Like, they at least have that advantage. So they get kind of a pass because that white, silver, and blue is just a good color combination if you're doing the official schemes. But you know, like the Exiles, they're so small. Like, especially like that female model is just such a small face. Like, you're just like, I did all this work, and you can, it still looks like the pre-painted just because it's so small and far away. So I like painting the big models a lot more for sure. Bugs will be fun. Excited for the Thoraxis Dragoon. Oh yeah, that's gonna shake things up for sure. Yeah, that Nagra bonding, that eliminate defense or order marker removal. I forget what it does, but it's a nasty little guy, and I think it's going to really shake up some armies for sure. And do Exiles with leather brown and leather red with red tinted swords. Ooh, I like the red tinted swords. I might steal that for a variant because that sounds pretty fun. Make them feel Ukkar, you know, like. Too much green for your taste. And green's my favorite color. I love green. It's just I like the AOA kind of initial paints they showed where they had kind of just a brown clothes and that green sword. Really, I think made it stand out a bit more. They're not bad. I still think they're really great pre-painted models as is. I'm trying to see if I have any nearby. No. Oh wait. Here they all are. Yeah, like they're like, I painted, like, this is the best model out of the Exiles. It kind of flows because it has a lot of leather and stuff like that. It just kind of looks nice. But I think some red swords look really cool. I'm halfway. Do I have one line around here? Let's see here. I want to see what this looks like in a red sword. See, this is how my brain works. Alright, so we're going to get some burnt red. This would probably look better if this was prime black, but I'm just honestly just curious to see what this would look like. Yeah, that will look really cool. And then do some highlights on it. Yeah, I'm a fan. Probably would highlight up to orange with these guys to make it look kind of punchy. But you could also try to go up to yellow is what I would try to do. Either one. Probably orange first edge highlight, and then yellow the second. Oh, you can get some clothes. I'm just thinking out loud here because I really like the idea. Yeah, and they can eat nagrubs. I mean, oh yeah, it could heal too. So I've honestly forgotten half of the AOA stuff that hasn't released, just because there's so much of it. But yeah, I'm definitely. It's exciting to get all that stuff. Some comments in the future. There's some pretty cool stuff out there. Yeah, money that dry. See, I'm gonna just do this blade because I have I have ADHD. So I just like, oh, cool idea. Let's go. Let's go pursue it. I'm gonna paint these boots black here on Valguard. I need to find my handle for this. Did I put it away? I honestly just need to make more handles. This is my problem. I can improvise if I want to. My kids painted with me today, and they moved all my stuff around. Not that there was an order to begin with, but let's see, it was here. I was painting. I don't know where it's at. I'm gonna try to make a new one. Just because this guy's getting hard to paint. Wait, if I have any steam tag left. I'm just missing everything today. It's one of those days. You still gotta get one of your Hydras done up like your Tiamat one. Oh yeah, that one's a really fun one to paint. I definitely recommend it. If you're looking for a really just it's a great way to kind of match the colors together and kind of keep them balanced. Is the hardest part to kind of balance all that. All right, so we're trying this vampire thing from Tooth and Coats. I want to see. Ooh, I do like that color. Yeah, I'm back in my mind prepping for the sequel because it's probably gonna have a lot of AOA stuff because I've been doing a lot of just my own schemes, but they're not as much reference to things as just kind of fun old colors I just wanted to try out. Because I have already the pre-painted set, and then I'm painting a set just like the pre-painted set, and then I just want to make it look a bit unique for this last set, so I'm not painting the same thing 10 times. Like. Here's some fun ones I've been working on. I mean, this is classic. This isn't original, but I like the idea of just a good Raylan, because, I mean, my girl's got to be good, There's still good in her. This is actually a fake reference to NGC originally released, that customs group originally released Iwashia. And this is the color scheme I chose for that unit because I just really like it. I honestly still like this color scheme a bit better than this. I don't know. They're both okay, but this I think really stands out in the water. This blends with the water. And you gotta have your grizzly claws, you know. It's amazing how much a paint can change the personality of a unit. Do I have any other fun? Oh, I have a Fia Bonnie too I did differently. I'm still working on. Somewhere around here. If I can find it. Yeah, I'll find it eventually. Or I lost it. Yeah, I don't know where it's at. Oh well. Oh, it's in my hand. So what I do when I play with Fia Bonnie, of course in casual settings, is every time she does Master of Disguise, I switch her out with a different painted model. Just to really make it seem like she changed her design. But yeah, I'm having fun painting all these. We're waiting for this to dry here, so it's fun to have a couple things to work on here. So let's find. So now I'm going to try this cuttlefish paint, which is like a really thin, almost glaze-like consistency. And I'm gonna try to kind of blend this a bit. See, look how thin this paint is. This is a paint with low coverage, intentionally, and high pigments. So it's very bright, but very thin. Great for things like this. Let's see, so it's here. Add a bit of blend into that. Okay, let's put some skin tone on Valguard. I'm doing everything but paint the figure I said I was going to paint. So we are going to use the Fanatic Barbarian Flesh I was talking about earlier. Always make sure you shake up your Fanatics really good because the pigments like to separate. And thankfully they actually put the mixing balls in, and this line, their previous war paint line did not do that. And you had to shake it like the Dickens to get all the pigments to mix. Let's see how good Army Painter coverage is here. See, it's really good coverage. We're painting flesh tone from black and it's covering really nice. Yeah, I've been meaning to do more things on the Discord, some more challenges and stuff like that. I'm working my way there. For a person who is a quote-unquote content creator, it's hard for me sometimes to engage in social media and the like. I'm kind of naturally a recluse, so I have to be like, oh, here's this thing. But I'm trying to build up the community there. It's kind of on my tentative to-do list. I'm kind of a busy guy. You probably want to do a couple layers of this. I feel like they changed the formula for their new flesh tone because honestly it feels a bit brighter, a bit pinker than I remember it. It's not bad. It's just not the color I was looking for exactly. But once I put some shade on, it'll bring it down. Here, Skip really likes a lot of these models that have these backwards hand motion, and sometimes the 3D prints I get confused. Like, is that a handle or is that a hand? We're getting there. We're figuring this out. You know, I feel like that dark brown was a bit too dark and a bit too brown, so we're gonna get some dark umber instead. You know, let's just go on full on brown of this. I think I'm pussyfooting around what I need to do here. Just find some good brown. Where's that giant brown I had? Oh, we'll use brigandine brown. It's still nice and dark. Still a little dark. Let's mix a little bit of this leather brown with it just to lighten it up. There you go. Parts of metallic as well. Yeah, that red copper for the arm is a bit too red, not copper enough. We'll fix it. I'm buffing these up now with some leather brown. I think it's going to darken them once we add a wash to it, so I'm going a bit brighter than a bit darker. Thankfully, I have tomorrow off of work, kind of just day off tomorrow, so I'll be able to get some stuff I've fallen behind on all done up. I've got a couple of scripts for some small things I've been wanting to do. There's a really good app out there called Paint Rack, which I know a lot of people are asking about color matching and kind of adding paints to your library and all that stuff. It's a really great app for that. So that's almost all scripted out. I'm kind of slow in the process. It's a blessing and a curse, I think. Sometimes it's good to. I have to sometimes. I put schedules on myself so I don't spend forever working on one video. We're working it all in my mind without even doing anything. So it took me a while to realize that the enemy, you know, nothing. Everything. If everything's perfect in your head, then nothing really exists. Type of deal. You know? I was happy with the Flagbear video that just dropped recently. I've actually had that one in the works for, you know, it's been in the back burner for like 5 months. Like right when AOA dropped, I had it all scripted out. My artist, Dandelions, did a really great job on all the designs. Because I can't draw very well, believe it or not. I wish I could. I wanted to actually, originally, I love animation, and I always want to do more with it. But, you know, eventually my goal is to make like a 2D animated HeroScape series. That's my ultimate goal. Because I love direction and animation. I'm not very good at drawing. And I know you could get better, but, you know, there's only so much time and mental space available for new skills. But I would love to, if I ever get into a little bit of money, I'm definitely going to hire a storyboard artist at the very least. And see if I can get some people to do some scenes. Because I definitely have some ideas for a narrative and for a direction I'd love for it to go. Right now we're using these 2 coats of paint, by the way, Vampire Fang, just to layer this up. This is working really good. I'm really liking this paint. It's got a nice creamy consistency here. And I might not even use any wash, or just a very thin wash, because we're getting some really nice texture. Probably not showing up too well on the camera, but some really nice texture and kind of build on this thing. Okay, let's try what their white star looks like here. I think it's going to be a bit too bright. Yeah, that's a little bit too bright. I'm going to mix that with the Vampire Fang just to bring it down just a tiny bit. I'm going to put that on these horns here. When you paint and kind of put a new color in, you kind of find it heavy, kind of roll your brush, and that kind of gives it to a point and doesn't kind of get it too deep into the bristle. Now we're just going to do it in the top part, see if I like it. Yeah, I like it. Right now we're just we're doing a little bit above and beyond. We're making this Valguard look as good as possible. You know, this is for someone who ordered it, and you know, I didn't charge him for the extra work, but I still wanted it to look nice. You know, it's also just good practice. Good to stay fresh. When I first started painting, I hated cloaks. I hated painting, you know, robes and cloaks. But once you kind of learn some basic tips and tricks, it's a really satisfying thing to do. Just because the light sources and the reflections are really easy to understand. You know, you highlight the raised parts and make the dark low parts shadow. And the cloaks usually aren't too reflective, so they don't have a lot of like weird light. You know, it's just kind of find the bright spots and bring them out. I'm liking the look of that for sure. We're getting there. Alright, well, we're gonna let that dry real fast. And let's get back to our exile. I might add one more highlight here. You want to watch out for those little dudes, the little water droplets that stay on your brush. Put a little bit too much on, I kind of lost the layer beneath. Let's get this. Actually, let's use this white scar that we have. We're gonna let this dry, but I'm gonna put it on my palette here. I'm gonna. What's a good color for that transition to? I'm gonna try a good orange. You know, actually, I'm gonna go for a scarlet, a red orange here. Not make it so dramatic. Once that dries, of course. I'm just kind of thinking all over the place here. And you know what? I might go more for it. If I can find it here. And I know it's around here. So this is over here. I'm gonna try copper, actually. A true copper from Army Painter. And it's a little bit more of a darker tone. I'm gonna mix a little bit of dark brown into it just to make it a little bit darker. There we go. And still catching up on some of the minutes you missed, but watching it 2 times. I'm talking super fast, actually. Just saw your Raylan looks awesome. I think I might still the idea. Yeah, it's a common idea, but it's I think the best alternative for it. Also, I've been wanting to paint mine like a Battle Cat. I think if I get an extra Raylan, I'll paint it like a He-Man. You know, what's that thing called? Tigra? I think I'm not a big He-Man fan. I just know they have that Battle Cat. And for Zenny, I'm still not sure if I want to do the Gen Con 22 color scheme or try your hand at one of the Avenel and Hill box art, blues, greens, and bone just looks so good. Just where you might mess it up. Yeah, the box art is hard because it's hard to tell which of it is lighting and which of it is actually the unit itself. I was kind of looking at it, I was like, is it just lighting from like that intense laser light source in the middle, or is it actually Xenothrax? That's why I didn't paint it that way because I couldn't tell the colors. But the original Avalon Hill box art, I definitely want to do a variant like that for sure. I did mine in blue just to test it out. I liked it. It's nice and bright, but that original color scheme was really nice too. And then wish I did the other one. Yeah, it's I mean, thankfully, these figures will probably be pretty cheap, or you'll find someone who just wants to get rid of it. So for alternatives, there's probably a chance you can snag another one or trade someone or something like that if you really want to redo it. But it's those colors are always, it's tough when it's because I'm so used to 3D printing. I'm used to just like, oh, I don't like this color scheme, let me just print up another one. But it's a bit harder when you kind of pay a premium for these models. You're like, I don't really want to mess up or have to start over too much. There we go. I like this darker tone we're using here. The other one felt just a bit too bright. And then we're going to use more of this brass for the arm to separate it, because that actually had a bit more of a, that actually makes a tiny bit of this red into it. There we go. And is this helmet metallic? No, it looks like it's actual leather. I'm gonna mix a little bit of my orange that I have on the palette here with it, just to make it a bit, and a bit of this dark brown, just to get a better tone than I like here. There we go. We're getting this blocked out here. And again, I'm taking probably longer on this than I need to, but it's fun. If you notice, I'm letting the black undertones create some lines in the model, just because 3D print models, especially the scans, aren't very deep. They don't have very, very defined edges and lines like a standard model does. So I try to use that black undertone to kind of create the lines. That's why that's a good way to kind of add some distinction. The little front helmets. There we go. For some reason that kind of tied the whole thing together. Max out a little over there. You always want to make sure you go underneath horns and cylinders, especially, as those things are always tricky. They just have a lot of weird curves, and you may think, oh, I get it all, and then you have like a whole part like that right there that you didn't even cover. Alright, let's get a lighter gray going on here. I know I have you around here somewhere. Most of my live streams is just me figuring out where everything's at. Such is life, you know. I never claim to have a perfect system. I barely claim to have a system, you know. Don't go accusing me of that. Does doing commissions ever take the joy out of it for you? A bit. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's harder working for someone else than for yourself. But not for the reasons you think. It's more just... I mean, you see how I am on stream. I'm easily distracted. I start doing something, and then I get interested by something else. So it's really hard for me to... And so I really have to, like... That's why I like doing... I'm starting to do this on stream, so I can kind of relatively stay in the same zone. But it's like both fulfilling and a little tough at times. Just because, you know... When I do commissions, that usually means I'm making less videos, which I also enjoy doing. And it just takes Alright, testing. There we go. I think we're back. I don't know how that happened, but we're back now. Let me know if there's still any issues. Right now we're using a light gray. I forgot to tell what I'm doing. And just adding a little bit of highlights to this cloth because it was feeling a little flat to me. And I'm just kind of puffing up these grays. I'm going to take the gray and thin it down and kind of clean it up a bit. Excuse me. Still a little heavy. Let's thin this down a bit. Hooray! I'm back. My lovely voice is here. I used to actually have a lot stronger voice, but I had COVID really bad a couple years ago, and ever since then, my vocal cords have really They really give out after a bit, which makes me sad. But because I used to have a voice like this, I used to talk all the time like this. You know, welcome to Roguescapers. But now it's kind of high. I have to kind of go an octave higher. So I was seeing if I like those highlights. I did it kind of sloppy, so I'm gonna go back and do it a little bit better. And I want to mix this gray a little bit more with this dark gray. So I think it was a bit too bright for what I was looking for. There we go, that's a bit more subtle. And now that the paint's wet, it's blending a bit better as well. There we go. Nice and simple. Let's add one more layer to the skin. You want to know effectively that you need to add more layers when you have things like this. That's why I like working with dark, is because I can see that I'm properly where I need to be. Because that doesn't look good. Like, those areas obviously need a bit more refinement. But it does take time layering it up. And I'm kind of trying to blend this arm with a lizard hand here. We're looking pretty good here. We're gonna let this guy sit for a second. We're gonna just keep on testing this guy out because it gives me something to do while I'm waiting for it to dry. We're gonna take the scarlet we applied from Vallejo, or really any red orange, and we are going to roll our brush to get rid of the excess, and then we are gonna trace the outline like with the edge of our brush. And I'm adding a bit of stippling just to kind of blend it a bit better. And then we're going to do one on this bottom part too, but we're going to more blend that in with the red. I think the red Exile is going to turn out great. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm really excited to see what the community has. I've seen some other ones, but I haven't seen any with the red blades. So I really like that idea. So you know, I'm stealing it. I'm editing your Tesla right now. But there we go. I'm gonna add a second layer just to really refine this. Yeah, add some nice dark browns here, and that green. That's a really nice color palette right there. And have any thoughts for Solid 2.0 color scheme? The pre-painted one, mainly the dragon, isn't doing it for me. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. He has an orange dragon. So if I was doing my own, I would just give him a green dragon because it looks better big. You know, I think green Olar, you know, it would just flow together a bit better. So if I'm just doing my own, I'm just doing, you know, I might be a little bit fancy. Maybe give Solon some white robes, make him kind of like, you know, Gandalf the White type vibes. The green dragon with some gold elements. That's my own personal take on it. I might do that because that sounds really like fun, like a nice cream white robe, just to try something different that no one else will probably do. And then, but standard, I mean, So a lot of the colors on AOA are just a little oversaturated. The colors themselves, like you just shift the hues a bit, add some shadow, and honestly, I think they'll look really good. Like, I think the factory for Renegade is just making them a bit too bright and punchy. Like Cornelius, he has this bright red and bright yellow. Imagine if he had like this kind of more muted red and more muted yellow. I think he would just look better. Like, there's a lot of bright colors. Like this thing, if it was just painted bright yellow, would not a lot of shading, not a lot of work put onto it, would look kind of just like a big macaroni monster, a big mustard blob type of deal. But if you take time to take the same colors and work with tones, which is kind of the I always get tones and hues mixed up. Hues is kind of the color area it is, and tones is the general darkness of it. You can really tell a different story. You can really tell kind of image. You can make any color work, but orange is going to be a harder color to work with for people, especially that kind of that red. What is it? Red orange on Silence Dragon, if memory serves me well, or is it more of a bright orange? Let me see here. I haven't looked at the. It's kind of more of a red orange. It looks like. So honestly, if you kind of layer it up and add some difference in the tones, you could probably do a lot with it. Dry brush, even just painting it a dark orange and then dry brush it. I think you'd be looking really good. Dry brush it with maybe a yellow or yellow orange, something like that. You add some differentiation. Those scales are really gonna pop. Macaroni monster, yeah. Alright, so we are gonna take this white. What is it? White star compared to white scar. That's funny. And we are gonna once again edge highlight. This is just a very basic version. I haven't really done too much blending or anything with that, but let's just kind of see the concept here. The key part is if you could want to really make these pop is just work on a process called edge highlighting. You take the brush, take the edge of it, and just run it instead of like dry brushing. Just kind of trace it along the outsides there. It really makes it a bit more punchy and prominent. Alright, now we're going to do something fun with this here. The macaroni monster. We are going to get some fluorescence on this thing here. This is fluorescent red. Let's do fluorescent red. Fluorescent paints are very thin paints with extreme pigmentation on it, so that when they are applied, they almost look like they're glowing. I've been messing around with them. They're a really fun kind of tool to have in your kit if you're looking for some really fun things. And this is going to kind of take that brightness and buff it up. You, of course, can just paint the blade white and use a fluorescent, and it won't be as dynamic, but it still will be very bright. if you played Metroid Dread, you're kind of going for the vibe mixed with the Gen Con scheme for your Fia body. I haven't played Dread. I have Google at my hands though, so let's see here. What character specifically from Metroid Dread? For Samus or for someone else? Let's see here. Oh, like that blue and white? Oh yeah, that's a really cool scheme. Get that white going, that blue, a little bit of that orangish red. Yeah, that would be really fun. Get that little green accents in there for the lens. Yeah, I could definitely see that's a really cool concept right there. I think the biggest thing is making sure it doesn't look like in America. I'm actually surprised because they're all very, like the hues of that are going to be, you know, if you don't want it to look like the, you know, the 4th of July Samus, you really want to make sure you kind of get more of unique hues compared with, you know, you don't want to just use flat red, flat white, flat blue. Try to kind of lighten them and darken them a bit to kind of separate them. But that's a really fun. That's a cool color scheme right there. All right, then we're just going to add one more highlight just to really. This isn't as bright as I wanted to. I probably have to see my formula. I probably missed something. You know what? I'm gonna get some bold red in this just to really. Well, let's get some orange actually. I think we needed to go up one more to orange. I think I didn't push it far enough. So we're gonna get some lava orange here. Trying to get ultramarine with red for your flash calls and end up looking for July. Honestly considering buying a second set and trying again. Yeah, it's yeah, it's I'm sure someone out there is selling individual frost claws. Honestly, I have a message me on the Discords. I have, because I got sent one from Renegade, and then I have another one, and then I have another one. Like, I have too many frost claws. If you want to try again on frost claws, message me on Discord. I can look to help you out with that. So we're going to try more of this orange. Oh, there we go. That's what we're missing. There's a bit of this orange to kind of buff this up. There we go. I was like, this feels kind of flat to me. There we go. You can keep on brightening and darkening, but that orange transition, and then is what we're missing. It's for some contrast. There we go. That looks pretty fun. It and let's see, respond to my Discord. Sorry, stream. All right, there we go. Back to our regular schedule program. Okay, there we go. So there we go. We got a bit of subtlety here. I'm gonna probably refine this formula. Welcome T-Money 699 to the stream. Not much, just living life to the fullest, I think. I haven't checked, but I'm doing pretty good. This backside I did a bit better on. You, of course, can spend hours getting your correct gradients right. But yeah, I'm doing good. I had a lot of fun playing yesterday. I kind of just wanted to play some more now. That's the problem with Hero Escape, is once I kind of get started, I kind of just I just want some more of it. You never have enough. I think my oldest son is almost getting the point. I think he's ready for the basic game. He's around 5, and so I'm ready to play with him a lot. It almost has a yellowish tone to it. I'm gonna find my flesh tone here. Desert yellow and that white, just to bring it down a little bit. Look in the bottle, it does have an orangish tint to it. Can't wait to see the full set of Red Exiles. Yeah, they're really they're a great model. I actually might practice some lighting with those guys because they're a good one to do it. I want the sword to be a bit punchier. I have to do some more research into power weapons. It's just honestly a thing I haven't done a lot with Heroescape painting. It's like I have kind of gaps in my knowledge that I'm looking to fill, just because I just never had to paint power weapons for Heroescape before. And I get the concept, but I don't have the practice under my belt type of deal. There we go. That kind of toned it down just a bit. There we go. And I think we have metal here for... if you're referring to the Exiles, yeah, they're really they're a pretty fun squad. I'm still figuring them out. I don't think I fully got yet how to use them, or they're just missing key parts of their army. They just seem I mean, a 4 squad with range is never a bad thing. It's just, I wish they all had one more defense. If they all had 3 defense, all the pirates, they're all such low defense. But it is what it is. Especially the scimitars, because they're a melee squad. They don't even have like the option of range, and I wish their captain gave them defense against, melee attacks, not ranged attacks. Unless I'm just playing them wrong. I just haven't figured out what I'm doing wrong with them, because they always seem to fall pretty fast. But maybe they're supposed to. I mean, they're only 65 points, and they do a lot. They can hit like a truck, but I don't know. I feel like pirates need someone to give them defense against melee attacks, because if you kind of whiff on your you have some whiffs on your scimitars, you kind of fall the next turn. And there's not really a way to mitigate that in their current build. They need some kind of whiff protection, or you just use them with order marker shifts, I guess, is probably the best way to use them. But I don't know. I still haven't figured out the best way. I'm sure there is a good way, but they gotta hit everything they engage with. And we're just adding these final highlights. We're gonna add a wash. Probably close up for the night pretty soon, but I really enjoy everyone talking, man. This makes it really fun, having people here asking questions, distracting me as best as possible. I love it. Yeah, dreadnoughts with 2 HP will really, I think, give that added frontline presence pirates really desperately need. And then once the Crimson Widow comes out, man, they're going to be a top tier army. They are going to really, because right now they don't have they're glass cannons, but their damage output is not worth the investment to really that consistent loss of figures you'll probably experience. They honestly work better more as fillers, even without their captain. Or if we get some cheap captain heroes, even 1-lifers, or 2-lifers or something, just to kind of fill in, 30-point heroes, I think it'll really help the pirates as well. I don't think they necessarily need, commons, but I think they could use some heroes, just some expendable heroes to kind of move around with that maybe, I don't know, give them defense or give them ability to I don't know. I'm sure there's some fun stuff that could be added to the pirates, because they're definitely they honestly play a lot like Vinoc Vipers, except Vinoc Vipers you need 40 of them, and these guys you just kind of run in, do a lot of damage, and then they die, and that's kind of it. Cool thing about the Exiles, though, is that they can kind of fit in any army. 75 points, actually, there's not a lot to fill in for 75 points. And they, most of the time, will get their points. Even if they just kind of disrupt things a bit. They don't need other pirate units to work, which is nice. It's coming down. I was a little worried at first. Broke my back. Yeah, some kind of aura benefiting pirates would be nice, and a good bulky hero would be nice as well. Yeah, they really need just that frontliner tank, because right now I think the most hardiest one is either Dorum, and Dorum's not very strong, and maybe Fiabani just because of her ability to evade squads. Pirates I think need a D20 enhancer, something to enhance their D20 rolls because they're so reliant on it. If you can't hit those D20s, they just fall apart, even with the things that they're supposed to be good at. And I think just some melee defense or some screens would be really nice because right now there's not really like a good screen for pirates, and they kind of need it. I'm sure it's designed to kind of mess up that meta and make you think differently. Like, they're really fun to play. I have always enjoyed playing the pirates, but I've never won when I played the pirates. Yesterday I was rolling really bad with him though. I was playing with EJ, like his big turn against a bunch of Harkabus. That's easy pickings for him. And he shows up and he whiffs like 3 times in a row, like literally no skulls 3 times in a row. And I said, I have really bad luck. Like, I was looking at I'm like in the 20% like luck ratio of just outcome. Like, I was looking at one of my online tournament matches I did, and I rolled like a 1 like 10 times in the game. And I was playing Thralls, and you need like what is it, like a 10 or higher to move 2? Like it wasn't hard. Needed anything besides a 1. But that is how it is. I run a lot of D&D games, and I have to increase the encounter difficulties just because I literally will not hit players for turns because my luck is so bad. It's like legendary. And now I'm just adding some white highlights to really kind of make this thing pop. At least I'm consistent. Yeah, Craft Monk. At least I'm consistent. With you, I don't even know what to expect. That's a fellow D&D player of mine in chat right now. Alright, I missed a part of the hand. Let's get that filled in. And we are going to get just a little bit of highlights on this, because why not? We're here. I'm going to use the Cuttlefish fairy skin. I was donated some of these paints by Hex Holla, and I really like them just for, they're not your all-around paints, but for like layering, they are really fun. They're really, this is how it's looking so far, if it focuses. They're really thin, so it works great for glazing and layering, but they're kind of sold out everywhere, so I don't know if I can fully recommend them, but they're really thin and really bright, so they really look good when we put them on a model. We're just highlighting some of these raised features. We're making this a little bit brighter because we're going to darken this all down with the classic Heroescape wash. There we go. And we're going to take this brass from this copper, which is a good kind of highlight for it, and just add some spunk to this hammer, because why not? And we're just going to add a bit of detail. Go. I'll let that dry. Might as well paint this exile while I have the chance. We're gonna blend some more highlights into this. Or more midtones rather. I think our midtones are a little weak. Where is my bright red at? I want to use some bold pyro red from Pro Acryl. That stuff's really fun to use. If I can find it though, of course. I just bought it. I don't remember where I put that though. I'll look for it. Add that around. I really love this red. This is a really super strong red from Pro Acryl. If I like that at all. There you go. Just bump it up a bit. I used a dry brush on it to kind of just blend all the colors together. If we add this good thing about pinpoint the edges compared to a straight blade. And that was an intentional design decision. Might want to go to pink instead of just pure white, because it does seem to be just a bit too bright. There we go. So if you find that your highlights aren't bright enough, that means your shadows aren't deep enough. Shadows are actually more important to a highlight than the highlight itself, because one of the most important painting tips I can remember is recommend is that if everything is a highlight, nothing's a highlight. It's that contrast and separation which really makes it impactful. I took some dark red and kind of thinly blended all these colors together, and now we're looking really good here. Still a lot more we could do. I mean, we could then kind of just repeat this process again. Add some separation. Yeah, I'm happy with that for now. I'm going to look up some more reference photos of how the light would behave on that, because I'm kind of struggling to imagine it. But it catches the eyes, it doesn't look flat, and that's the big thing. Oh, is it Talk Like a Pirate Day? Yarg, matey. Well, I must finish the rest of the stream like this, then. Avast and ahoy. 'Cause me likes a pirate accent. That I do. Alright, we're going to get a wee bit of strong tone right here. And we are going to not put that on our wet palette, but we are going to put it on a separate palette. Preferably one without any old paint on it. There we go, just scrub that away. Get some Army Painter strong tone. Mix it up thoroughly, mind you. And we're going to use a big bodied brush. I'm using a size 4 for Monument. And we're going to apply this over the whole thing. You think I was doing this as a bit, but no, this is a serious occasion. Yarg. We're going to apply this over the sunder of the body. Army Painter paint applies, washes come on a little thick, but they dry thinner. Main thing is you just watch out for uncomfortable or unseemly pulling. Alright, and put that on the face there. Really make these browns look more brown than coppers. Will have a nice sheen to them. Use your brush and put a bit of water in it and absorb any pooling. It's the most serious of matters, indeed. If I knew, I would have made a whole thing about it today, but I forgot. Alrighty. And not wanting to drop that in my palette. Army Painter shades act as a filter to your whole project, so you typically want to make them a brighter, because it will bring the color down. Alrighty then, mateys. We're gonna let this dry. Once it dries, you'll want to go over any colors you want brighter and touch those up. I can't keep on talking like this forever, so I'm gonna end the stream, lest my voice get dragged down to Davy Jones' locker. You all keep on scaping, and if you haven't, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more painting and scape stuff. Yarg.